Bitcoin may have just gotten the macro rescue it needed. For weeks, crypto has been getting hit by fear around the US-Iran conflict, the Strait of Hormuz, rising oil prices, and the possibility that inflation could stay hotter for longer. But now, the tone is starting to change. Reports suggest the US and Iran may be getting closer to an agreement, and markets are already reacting. Oil prices have started pulling back as traders price in the possibility of the Strait of Hormuz reopening and global energy flows becoming more stable again. And that matters for Bitcoin more than people think, because when oil prices spike, inflation fears usually rise. When inflation fears rise, investors start worrying that central banks may keep rates higher for longer. And when liquidity gets tighter, risk assets usually struggle. That includes Bitcoin. So if tensions cool down, oil prices normalize, and the Strait of Hormuz situation improves, that could remove one of the biggest pressure points hanging over crypto right now. It does not mean Bitcoin automatically explodes higher tomorrow, but it does mean the market could finally breathe again. And honestly, that is the real story. Bitcoin has been trading around the $63,000 level after one of its roughest weeks in months. It dropped below 60,000, fear spiked, and a lot of traders started preparing for a much deeper breakdown. But then the macro picture improved, oil pulled back, stocks bounced, risk appetite started returning, and Bitcoin managed to recover instead of fully breaking down. That is important, because this market has not been moving only on crypto headlines lately. Bitcoin has been reacting to global events, oil, war risk, interest rate expectations, stock market sentiment, and that shows how much Bitcoin has changed. This is not the same tiny internet asset it was 10 years ago. Bitcoin is now plugged into the global financial system. So when geopolitical stress eases, crypto can benefit quickly. Now the key thing to watch is whether this optimism turns into an actual agreement. Because markets love hope, but they need confirmation. If the Strait of Hormuz fully reopens, oil continues falling, and tensions keep cooling down, that could be a major shift for risk assets. Lower energy pressure could help calm inflation fears. Calmer inflation fears could improve rate expectations. Better rate expectations could bring liquidity back into speculative markets, and crypto usually performs much better when liquidity is improving. That is why this situation matters so much. This is not just about politics. This is about whether one of the biggest macro headwinds for Bitcoin starts fading. Now, while Bitcoin tries to stabilize, investors are also paying more attention to projects being built around the Bitcoin ecosystem itself. One example is Bitcoin Hyper. Not financial advice obviously, but Bitcoin Hyper is currently priced around $0.0136815, and the next pre-sale price increase is coming up soon. The project has been getting attention because it focuses on expanding Bitcoin's utility through faster and more scalable infrastructure. And if Bitcoin continues becoming more important globally, the ecosystem around Bitcoin probably has to grow with it. That is why some investors are watching Bitcoin-related infrastructure projects more closely right now. Again, always do your own research, but if you want to check it out, the link is in the description. So bringing it all together, if the US-Iran conflict truly cools down, this could be a big moment for crypto. Less war fear, lower oil pressure, reduced inflation panic, more confidence in risk assets, and potentially a stronger setup for Bitcoin after a brutal sell-off. Nothing is guaranteed. Things can change fast. But for the first time in a while, the macro backdrop may finally be giving Bitcoin a reason to recover.